Suddenly focused national attention.
You won't let on to your mother that you've seen me, will you? She thinks I've come up here to see Cardiff play Fulham.
Oh, don't miss your football on my account.
I won't. I wouldn't have gone to the game anyway. I stopped going to football months ago, but your mother doesn't know. Once every 3 weeks or so, I tell her I'm going to a match, but I don't. I go off on a jaunt.
You don't?
Ever since last year. I went up to see them play Blackpool in a cup match away. It was such a beautiful day, I didn't go near the ground. I spent the afternoon on the beach. I've been doing the same sort of thing once a month ever since. I go all over.
I never thought of you as a crafty old sly boots.
I'm not. You and your mother and I get on very well after all these years. But there are times when I'm better out from under her feet, for her sake as well as mine. It doesn't do any of us any harm to get away on our own for a bit.
Was that last remark aimed at me?
Well, it might have been if you'd let me finish it. I was going to say it doesn't do any of us any harm to get away on our own for a bit, provided we know when it's time to go home again.
Now I know it was meant for me.
And was that meant for me?
Yes. But, Dad... Don't you think I'm old enough to make my own decisions now?
Oh, I'm sorry, Angela. I didn't come down here to give you advice. I really didn't, just to see how you were. Talk about something else, shall we?
No. Let's talk about my problem. I don't often get the chance, and it helps.
Well? Have you spoken to Ron of late?
On the phone. He rings me, and I ring him occasionally.
He wants you back, you know.
Yes.
And the idea doesn't appeal?
I don't know, frankly. Mother's right. I don't know what I want. When the phone goes in the hall, I gallop down the stairs hoping it's him, and I feel bloody all night if it's for someone else.
You do miss him, then?
I suppose so. Well, I must do, mustn't I? But do I miss not being with him, or do I just hate being on my own?
Now, that's something you have to decide for yourself. Don't you know anybody down here still?
Do you want the truth?
Well, of course.
Since I've been in London, I've said please and thank you to 50 bus conductors. I've spoken twice to the milkman, and I'm on nodding terms with the landlady. Oh, I do exchange civilities with a couple of other secretaries at the office, both cosily married, but you could say all in all, I haven't completely taken London by storm. Not yet.
Couldn't you join a club or something?
Yes, I'm sure I could, Dad, and I'm sure it's all my own fault. And it's up to no one but me to sort myself out. I know all that. Oh, I haven't told you about my one conquest. There's a man on the floor above. He fancies me like mad.
Oh, there is something you've been keeping for yourself. Who's the sly boots now? Do you fancy him?
Oh, I don't know. I suppose I do a bit. He's all right. He's left his wife.
Oh, birds of a feather.
More ships that pass in the night. Or past, in fact. We're back to formal good morning, good evening on the stairs now. You see, I told him off.
Oh, why?
Well, he's so sure of himself, so self-assured, full of advice, and so sure that he's done the right thing in breaking loose.
Does that mean you think you've done the wrong thing?
I don't know. I don't know. I wish I did. I just think it's something that I can't make up my mind about quickly, let alone have other people telling me what to do. I just have to think and wait and let things happen for themselves. I think that one day the phone will go in the hall and it'll be Ron, and it'll all happen quickly then. I shall know what to do at once. Either I'll run down the stairs, pick up the phone and say, Ron, it's me. Please, have me back. Or I'll not answer it and just let it ring and That'll be the end of that.
You do know you're not really being fair, don't you?
To Ron?
Mm-hmm.
I realise that. Perhaps I deserve what I get. Perhaps he'll give me up. It's what I deserved. Oh, I haven't been fair to anybody. To you, to Ron, to Mum, to myself. Not even that chap upstairs. Not that he needs me. He's got more girlfriends in tow than enough. Oh, you shouldn't waste your time on me, Dad. Look, it's not even 2 yet. You still make your match.
Told you I've given up football. I go on jaunts.
I don't believe in your jaunts. I think you make them up. Go on.
What?
Go to your match.
What, come all this way down here just to go and watch them lose? To Fulham? Not likely.
Shame on you. Haven't you any confidence?
Not much. Haven't you?
No, not much.
Gee. If it's not too late, I'll take you out to lunch.
Mrs. Julie Richardson? Well, congratulations, Mrs. Richardson. Simply by lifting your phone just now, you have won yourself an evening out with one of our charming male escorts, plus a romantic dinner by candlelight in a West End restaurant of your own choice. Yes, it is me. How are you? And what about tonight? Pick you up in about 15, Well, I appreciate your problem. Julie laughed, but I mean, couldn't you swing some excuse on him? Yes, well, of course, I understand. I mean, if he's already on his way to you, I mean, there's very little you can do about it. No. That's right, lovely. No. Sometime soon. Foiled again. Hello.
Hello? Can I guess?
Oh, yes, please do, yeah.
The lady that slogs her heart out at the wine merchant.
Correction, slogs her guts out.
Sorry, slogs her guts out. She's working overtime.
Wrong. Guess again.
The Spanish bit in the pet shop.
Do you mind? Pet's Boutique.
Pet's Boutique, and she's gone down with the distemper.
No, it couldn't be further from the truth.
Well, it can't be the Barbadian air hostess again so soon.
No, when last reported, she was cruising at a height of 27,000 feet over the Pennine chain.
Goodness, wasn't she wildly off
No,
course?
not at all. No, she's been rerouted. Domestic flights. She's living in a hostel in Aberdeen.
Hard cheese.
Yes, no, this was a totally different lady.
Oh, well, you're not keeping me up to date with your affairs.
That was Julie. Now, she's not old, she's not new. She's a public relations officer for a firm that specialises in the exporting of dartboards.
Have you ever thought of getting all your ladies on What's My Line?
No, to be perfectly honest, no. Do you fancy a rather early dinner tonight?
I've only just returned from a rather late lunch.
Not hungry?
Quite the reverse.
I'm famished.
It seems we're at cross purposes
Well,
again.
you could just have starters and then have pudding and skip the main course.
And what's in it for me?
Well, I was thinking of a place where they do a rather good avocado with prawns.
Not out of a tin. You mean it's not me that has to prepare it? A real restaurant?
Didn't I make myself clear?
Well, what are we waiting for?
Ha!
It's raining. Is it far?
Here's a taxi. Hey! Come on, stopping!
Now I am being spoilt. Coming.
Do you fancy coming up to my room for a brandy? I think there's some left.
Oh, no, thanks. I tend to get rather aggressive on brandy.
Point taken. You were saying, Ron's infidelity.
Well, I suppose I knew about him having a thing with his secretary before I found out about it. For certain, I mean. It's just that I didn't want to admit it. And then we had the blazing row, and it all came out in the open. And I found to my surprise that I was more jealous of him taking her out to dinner than I was of him going to bed with her. Does that sound extraordinary?
It's more, unusual.
I mean, actually paying for grand dinners for her in swish restaurants, while I was moping over the telly with a cheese omelette.
Yes, when you put it like that, I see your point.
I mean, him just getting into bed with her was relatively unimportant, if it mattered at all. And what if it didn't matter? Then surely it might be over between us. So that's why I needed to get away, and I came to London. But since I've been here, I suppose I've tried to ignore the situation, hoping it might go away.
Yes, well, that's the negative approach, I'm afraid. It just doesn't work. You've got to take the old bull by the horns, Angie, all the way.
But I did take the old bull by the horns. I walked out.
Yes, but you told your husband where you were going. Gave him your phone number, sat around waiting for him to ring up and make apologetic overtures. But at the present rate, he'll have you back down there in a matter of weeks, if not days.
But perhaps I belong down there.
Perhaps you do, Angie, love. But on the other hand, perhaps you belong on your own. You've got to give it a real try. You've got to be bloody brave. Look, do you know what I said to Claire, my missus, when I up and offed from the family home?
Finito, kaput. A short life and a merry one.
Well, more or less, yes. But there you are. Look, Angie, all right. Cards on the table and all that. Nothing on my sleeve. I wouldn't mind getting you between the sheets myself. I freely admit it. Now, take offence if you like, but at least I'm being honest. But put all that on one side. You've got to make up your own mind about future life. It's important to you. Don't let him do it for you. Look, if Claire knew where I was, she'd be permanently parked in the hallway of 35 Maffigan Terrace on her hands and knees, begging me to return to the ancestral flat the family thought. I'm not kidding you. But I got out. I had to get out. I belonged to nobody but me. And I happen to have the very strong suspicion that you belong to you. You all right?
Fine.
You've suddenly gone very quiet.
I didn't mean to.
Good.
Could I change my mind about the brandy?
Yes, of course. All aggressive instincts totally restrained.
I've never felt less aggressive in my life.
Good.
You're an early bird?
Yes, well, I slipped into my clobber in the bathroom so as not to disturb you. You were sound asleep.
So it seems.
I come bearing gifts. Sunday papers.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, don't try not to get them creased. They're not mine. Ours. They belong to the landlady and her spouse. I take it they are still away.
So I believe.
Yes, but they must have cancelled the daily ones, forgot to knock off the Sunday ones.
Easily done.
No point in letting them go stale, so when we finished, pop them back through the letterbox. But try not to get them creased.
I'll do my level best.
Well done. Angie, I don't know whether I raised the subject last night.
Which one?
Well, about this morning. I have to go out.
Oh, well, you didn't.
Well, I felt I should have done under the circs.
Which circs?
Well, taking you out for a spaghetti and chips, lacing you with Italian carafe plonk, and then hijacking you back to the bedroom.
Oh, was I hijacked? You did it very well. I didn't notice.
Well, these things will happen.
Even in the best of families.
Quite, but I do feel a bit, off. Doing a bunk this hour on a Sunday morning.
No, it doesn't matter, not to me. Go on. Trot off to wherever you're trotting to.
Golf, actually. This chap I play with picks me up every Sunday, regular as clockwork. Well, it's business come pleasure arrangement, really. He does me favours and I help him out occasionally.
Good. Have a good innings, or whatever it's called.
That's it. I tell you what, look, I'll be back this evening. If you're free, we can have another spot of dinner.
If you'd like to.
Yes, I'd love to, yes.
I know, I'll cook us something. There's a shop round the corner which is open on Sundays.
Really? Oh, that's great, terrific. Would 7 o'clock suit?
7 o'clock would be absolutely spiffing.
Mm.
You better go on.
Well, I'll see you then, Angie.
See you.
Sorry I'm late, Jimmy.
Come on, we haven't got all day.
No. Right.
Yes?
Wanted on the phone, dear.
Oh, thank you. Hello, Dad. Fine. Oh, I'm just being domestic. Ron? Has he? Oh, well, I have been out, yes. It's what? Abroad? But why so soon? But, Dad, we decided not to see each other, and he agreed. Yes, I know it. I know it's now or never, and yes, thanks for letting me know, but yes. Well, I'll let you know what I decide. Yes, I promise. Yes. Thank you. Bye. Come in.
Hello.
Hello, I'm Angela Glossop. I live downstairs. I'm a friend of Lionel's.
How do you do? I'm Claire Edwards. I'm his wife.
Oh, hello.
Hello. I'm afraid he's not in at the moment.
No, well, it's not important anyway.
Shall I tell him you called?
Please, no, it doesn't matter. Actually, I was just returning his potato peeler. I borrowed it when he lent it to me. If you'd be so good as to mention that I put it there. Nice to have met you.
Miss
Goodbye.
Glossop. You can keep it if you like.
Oh, no.
Oh, please do. Lionel won't be needing it. He's leaving today.
I know. I saw his things in the hall. That's why I thought he might be needing his potato peeler. I didn't want him to leave it behind.
Oh, you have it. He really won't be needing it. And I do have another one at home.
Well, so have I, downstairs. A new one. I bought it this afternoon because I'd lost my own, and so I won't be needing Lionel's anymore.
I'll see that he gets it.
Thank you. And if I'm not in when he leaves, I may have to go out. Could you tell him goodbye for me, please?
Of course. Come up and say it yourself if you like. He'll be back soon.
No, I won't bother. We didn't know each other that well. We were just on, well, potato peeler borrowing terms, that's all.
That's not quite what he told me.
Oh?
I've been with him most of today. He told me about you.
Oh.
Here. It is yours, isn't it? He's never owned a potato peeler in his life.
Mrs. Edwards, I don't know what Lionel's told you about me, but I would like you to know that he didn't leave you for me.
Of course he didn't. He told me the truth. He always tells me the truth, every time.
Every time?
Every time he leaves home. He does it once every 2 or 3 years. I really don't know why. And neither does he.
I am sorry.
Oh, don't be. He always comes back to me in the end. I'm the classic example of the long-suffering wife.
Goodbye, Mrs. Edwards.
Goodbye, Miss Glossop.
It's Mrs., actually.
Oh, he didn't tell me that. I hope he didn't break up your marriage.
No. I'd left my husband before I met yours. We met here.
You'd left your husband and Lai was on the loose from me. You end up in this place. I suppose it was bound to happen. Birds of a feather, in a way.
No, we hadn't much in common at all. You see, I don't leave my husband regularly. Just the once. This time. If you'll excuse me now, please. Well, you're a fine one to talk.
How do you mean?
I've just been talking to your wife.
Oh.
Finito. Kaput. Well, I mean, really.
Yes, well, sometimes I find it difficult to practice what I preach.
I thought you said she didn't know where to find you.
Yes, well, I forgot about the golf club.
I don't think you cover your tracks very well, if you don't mind me saying so.
True.
Perhaps you don't try very hard. And now, my husband's going abroad.
Are you going with him?
I don't know.
Don't, Angie, don't. Not just because of today. I mean, don't rush into anything, not just because of me.
As I say, you're a fine one to give advice.
If we don't do as I do, Angie, do as I say.
I'll see. Oh. I've been given this to remember you by.
What is it?
A souvenir.
What is it?
Potato peeler.
It's not mine.
No, it's mine. Goodbye.
Well, this is all there is. I've locked the door. Here are the keys if there's anything you specifically want to go back for.
No, that's it, finito.
Well, shall we be on our way?
Yeah, by all means. Done a good job with the packing.
Comes with practice.
How are the cats?
Very well behaved and a great example to us all.
Once more into the breach then? Well then.
What about your keys? Shouldn't you hand them in?
No, I'll post them in with a note. Landlady's away. 160-4493. Ah, yes, just a tiny moment. It's for,
Go ahead.
Angela! Mrs. Glossop! Telephone! She won't be a minute. It's a Mr. Glossop on the line for you.
I'm not in. I'm out. Would you tell him, please? And I've no idea when I shall be in again. It's finito. Kaput. A short life and a merry one.